Next, we have the brunch specialties. I just want to clarify how we broke the menu up. We have the brunch specialties section, and then separately we have the build your own omelet section. The build your own omelet section comes with a side of risotto or potato. Somehow, a lot of people are applying that, even though it just says that in the build your own omelet little mini window that those come with a side of risotto or potato. People are starting to assume that everything comes with a side of risotto or potato. So that's not the case. The brunch specialties either come with no side at all, like the French toast, or else they have a small arugula salad like this one here in the photo. None of the brunch specialties, including the special omelets, comes with a side of potatoes or risotto. They can order these, of course, but it's a separate item. The first specialty is the French toast. It's really, really great. Since we have a photo of it hanging in front of the restaurant, I think the customers will know what to expect pretty much. Depending on the size of the loaf, it's either 2 or 3 slices of bread. They are dipped in eggs and fried in butter, just like all French toast. Then we take pears and bananas and sear them very, very quickly in butter and then flambe it for just like 5 seconds with the Prunier orange brandy. You don't really end up tasting that much of the orange or really much of the brandy, but it does just add a little bit more complex flavor to the syrup. The syrup is actually a combination of maple and brown sugar. Then the whole dish is topped with pecans, candied pecans, powdered sugar, and a fresh fanned strawberry. There are no items included with the French toast. One note very quickly about the maple syrup. I originally intended to serve this dish with 100% real maple syrup, but frankly, the amount of maple syrup that people are asking for, just radically exceeds the price of this whole dish. Maple syrup is just crazy expensive. So I put an upcharge of $1.95 if people want to order extra syrup. Really, honestly, we're not making anything on that. That's just our cost with no markup. Please give me feedback on the customer's reactions to this. I can give a free side of the extra corn syrup flavored with brown sugar, which I've made up. It's kind of like the regular syrup that's prevalent in this area. This is really what everybody is used to. That's why everyone thinks that the side of extra syrup should be included because they're all used to, being served kind of the artificial syrup, the corn syrup with a little bit of flavoring in it. So they think it should be free. But if we were to serve the real maple syrup, I mean, forget it. It would cost more than this whole dish. So what we're doing then is they can get a free side of syrup, but if they want the maple syrup, it has to be rung up as a side item. So we can do the corn syrup for free. Use your judgment and give me feedback on this, please. I'm not sure that sort of the customers are really getting these distinctions, and it may be simpler just to forget the whole maple syrup thing and just give them the Mrs. Butterworth, which is what they're used to. Next, we have the eggs in heaven or hell. The only difference between these two is the spice. The dish is 2 eggs over medium. That means it's slightly runny when you cut into it. It's topped with tomato sauce, basil, mozzarella, and Romano cheeses. If they order the hell version, the sauce is cooked with a good amount of red pepper flakes. It's fairly hot. Once plated, the dish is topped with a fresh fruity olive oil and served with a side of toast to pick up all the sauce. Pretty much everyone who tastes this sauce is going to tell you it just tastes amazing. It's just really, really, really good. Next, all of our omelets are about 2½ eggs. We pre-mix and scoop the omelets out with a ladle, so it's really not exactly like 2 eggs or 3 eggs. Customers can also substitute egg whites. In this case, we end up sort of portioning out. It comes to just about 5 egg whites. Just to reiterate, our 2 specialty omelets, which are the Ella's and the Bobby's, which if anybody asks, by the way, those are my parents. Ellen and Bob are my parents. Ella is actually her real name, but everyone calls her Ellen. The Ella's and Bobby's omelets are served with a side salad, which is a simple mix of arugula topped with raspberry. The build your own omelet is the one that comes with a side of risotto or potatoes. So even though the menu never says that the Bobby's or Ella's omelet comes with a free side of potatoes or risotto, there are a lot of customers assuming that. So I just want to clarify that the Bobby's and Ella's omelets come with a side salad, and we're trying to upsell on the starchy side dishes. Ella's omelet is a combination of mozzarella, fresh tomato, and dill. I haven't really used a lot of dill in the restaurant. A lot of people may not be that familiar with dill. Everyone is used to mozzarella, tomato, and basil, which we put on pretty much everything. I put the dill on to mix it up. It gives a completely different flavor, and it's just a great combination. It's something I've been doing for many, many years, actually. The Bobby's omelet is a combination of sausage, capicola, and roasted peppers. Obviously, we did these two as kind of a his and hers, like a meat lovers versus vegetarian thing. Customers obviously can also add their own other toppings to the specialty omelets from the Build Your Own Omelet list. See, I think that's actually what's causing them to think that they come with the potatoes, because they start with that omelet, then their eyes drift down to add other toppings, and then they read the thing about the free potatoes, and they think they're getting free potatoes. Anyway, I'm just kind of beating a dead horse with that, but I did want you guys to sort of understand and get some clarity on that, because it has caused a lot of confusion. Next, we have the grilled egg sandwich. This is also served with a side salad. I don't have a great photo of this one right now, so I'm just kind of sort of using this blurry one. Sorry about that. The sandwich is basically what it sounds like. It's kind of a kicked up Egg McMuffin. It's just using a better bread, a better cheese, and a better ham than they might use at McDonald's. So we've got a sourdough bread, we've got a fontina cheese, and instead of the Canadian bacon, we're using the capicola. So everything's just like the same thing, but just kind of kicked up. The egg is over medium, which means that it's slightly runny when they bite into it. Some customers have asked that the eggs be cooked over well, so there's no runny yolk. Others have asked that we scramble the eggs. Both of these are fine if you want to. I wouldn't push it, but if they ask for it, it's fine. This next dish is the mozzarella in carrozza. That literally means mozzarella in a carriage. This is a very, very traditional Italian dish. It's basically a grilled cheese sandwich made with French toast. It's not sweet though, so don't think of it that way. Instead, it's made with lemon and served with a side of lemon for dipping. In this photo, it's paired with potatoes, but that's an extra side dish. By default, this comes with the same side salad as all the other, or really as most of the other specialties. The last specialty is the half pizza. It's the regular dolce pizza in a half order, and it's topped all the way across with capicola. It's got dates, honey, fontina cheese, walnuts. It's a great, great combination, a little rosemary. You might not think that the capicola goes well with the sweetness of this pizza, but it's great. It's a great, great, great combination. Now we come to the pan-seared meats. We didn't want to serve just regular bacon because we were trying to keep everything with an Italian theme. So instead, we tested all of the 8-sliced meats that we have in the house. The tasting was a lot of fun, and we couldn't pick just one as our bacon replacement. In the end, we decided that these 4 were just too good to eliminate, so we just put them all on the menu. The best way to order these meats is to just do the sampler. You should be able to sell these samplers left and right. It just totally rocks. If someone is looking for straight bacon, the pancetta is the closest, but it is a bit different. Personally, I love my bacon crispy, and I can't stand it when it comes out looking kind of rubbery. But pancetta is different because it's fully cured, and actually it's great just to eat it totally raw. It doesn't ever really crisp up like bacon, even though it looks and tastes a little bit like bacon. And in fact, it kind of just shrivels down to nothing. So if someone complains that they like their bacon crispy because it comes out sort of looking a little rubbery, let them know that this is not exactly like American bacon, and they should bite it the way it comes out and just test it and see for themselves. If they still want, we can crisp it up a bit, but not that much. Like I said, it's going to kind of disintegrate. But in any case, really, 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 you should be pushing that sampler, because that sampler it's amazing. It totally rocks. Some of the flavors that you have on the pizza are lost a little bit on the pizza, actually come out even more when these meats are fried. Like, for example, the finucchiona, you can really taste that fennel when it's fried even more than you can when it's put onto the salami pizza. So give that sampler a taste and let everybody know it's a great thing to order. The Italian sausage is just a whole link of sausage. It's very flavorful, but it's not exactly what we have on the pizza line. When we make the sausage for the pizza, we take it out of the casing first, and we add fennel seeds and peppers to it. The sausage link that we serve for brunch doesn't have those. It's the same sausage, but it's still in the casing, so it didn't get the fennels, it didn't get the peppers. So it's got a bit of a different flavor. It's still very flavorful, though, and it's just very, very good. The rosemary potatoes are very, very tasty. Not much to say about them. They have a bit of mozzarella and Romano cheese just for flavor. It's a good, salty, well-made potato dish. They should just really... Next is the risotto. Risotto is an Italian, very short grain rice. When it's made right, it comes out very creamy, even though it's got no cream added to it at all. It's just creamy from the starch in the water. We also add a bit of Romano cheese, which gives it a nice flavor. The risotto is kind of like our substitute for grits. We didn't just want to go with the southern grits. We wanted to keep it on an Italian tip. We had a couple of options, and we decided to go with the risotto. It's a good little breakfast starch. The wild mushroom and rosemary risotto has a mixture of shiitake and cremini mushrooms added to the plain. This version is obviously a lot more flavorful than the plain. It's just it's a good little side dish. Now on to the desserts. These are all really great. The cinnamon toast is very simple. It's just brown sugar, butter, and cookie spices. It's baked on and then topped with powdered sugar. This could just be a starting side dish instead of a dessert, and actually tossed around the idea of putting it on the list of side dishes next to the toast. It kind of just depends on how people sort of think about it, whether it's a dessert or it's a side that they would have even, but maybe before their meal. Next we have the Pizzetta. These are our sweet fried donuts. These donuts are about twice the size of a regular donut, but they only come out 1 per order, whereas the regular donuts come out 4 per order. The most popular by far is the Nutella. Nutella is an Italian paste made with hazelnuts and chocolate. A lot of people are familiar with it. It's really, really flavorful. Personally, my favorite is the caramel with pecans. I think it's just got a great little flavor to it. But many more people are ordering the Nutella. Dolce is kind of like the Half Moon Pizza in that it's really just a mini version of our full-size Dolce pizza with medjool, dates, fontina, honey, walnuts, and rosemary. The Nutella donut comes out topped with powdered sugar and cocoa. The caramel one just powdered sugar, and the Dolce comes out with just a little bit of honey. So they're all topped a little bit differently. All three just great dishes. Finally, we conclude the brunch menu with the berries and zabaione. We make it actually in 2 flavors. First, we heat eggs, cream, and sugar to make a simple custard called Creme Anglaise. This is really just the base for all ice creams. At this point, you can add just about any liqueur or any flavoring that you want before you chill it down. We split it and add vanilla to half and Marsala wine to the other half to make our 2 flavors. It's the Marsala wine version that really is the one that we call zabaione. It's really the Marsala one that makes it zabaione. So the other flavor is really just a simple sort of vanilla cream. Some people have ordered the vanilla flavor because they don't want the alcohol in the wine. But FYI, the vanilla has just as much alcohol. Obviously, vanilla is just sort of a vanilla beans, soaked in bourbon typically. So really, they're just pretty much the same in terms of alcohol content. To me, the real zabaione with the Marsala flavor is the better of the 2 versions. In either case, it's poured over a mix of berries. We use strawberries and raspberries, and then for color, we add a dark berry, such as blueberries or blackberries, depending on which one we can get. This dish, when made right, will have guests scraping the bottom of the cup for the last bit of cream. It's just awesome. Okay, guys, thanks for listening.